and hopefully within it delivers some deliverance. It's all facts and opinionated from the West where that real spit originated. Brothers truly trying to save a soul, provoke thought so we can really designate a goal. We on that grown man scribble, the ball in our court with command on the dribble. This is something that'll help us show, cause it's something that'll help us grow. We see exactly what the people need. Now welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Learn to listen when it's grown man talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown man talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen,
You know what day it is?
what's today?
It's Spitt'n Pollaseedz Day. And we would like you all in the audience to have a sit down, grab a pen and a pad, because we're going to go over some pertinent information here. But before that, let's get into everybody's week. We're going to start with the handsome gentleman to my left.
No, your other left.
Oh, my other left.
Yeah. Because he was ready.
Yeah. The handsome
I thought we all were ready.
Huh?
I thought we all were ready.
Yeah. So tell me how your week was.
Man, I can't complain. Week is good so far. Yep. Can't complain.
That was short.
Yep.
Let me go to the long-winded individual. To my right, handsome barber of Inglewood. Trevor, how was your week?
I would give my week a 5.
A 5 out of 10?
It's Wednesday, and I hope that you that are listening, I hope you guys have had 10 weeks so far, but I've had a 5, man. I went to my daughter's school to go pick her up or whatever else, and I had a little snacks for her, and I had the little drink, her little juice and all that old stuff, had her little phone so we could, do our little thing. And I get to the school, and the principal and the teacher walk up to me and say she wasn't there. I was like, ooh.
Where was she?
Her mom.
Oh, your co-parent. Your co-parent.
Said that she was sick. And I was like,
why you didn't let me?
That was kind of discouraging, but I think that it should be fair that you let somebody know. But we have an app called Talking Parents because she accuses a lot of harassment and negative energy, but those are the things that spawn the negative energy, and then I get blamed for it. But it's whatever. So
because you feel like you want to slap her.
Well, man, oftentimes,
I would be your hand for you.
A lot of men feel like, like I said about the 3 Fs, and I stand with the 3 Fs.
Damn.
Then
that's quick.
That's a call. That could only be one person.
Could that be her?
Who could it be?
Could that be her?
I hope it is.
Your co-parent. Hey, caller. Tell us your name, question, or comment.
Spencer. What's up, Spence?
Hey, how's it going, homie? Hey, I got a comment on today's topic.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
But what the topic is?
Yeah. Awesome.
I mean,
okay.
Go ahead.
It's the consequences of love. And I think the consequences of love, well, it depends. Like, for an example, when you love somebody, it can come with a bag full of emotions. Like, if you feel love for somebody, but the person's taken. Yeah. I've experienced that before. You can feel very jealous, or if you two are married, and there's ups and downs of love. Like, sometimes you feel guilty when you're attracted to other people, but as men, that just happens sometimes.
Wow, that's awesome, Spencer. Wow. Very good insight.
Good insight. We haven't even said the name of the show.
No,
Spencer is already on
it.
He's on it already.
We got to get him a...
I've watched the last 2 episodes. I just didn't watch them live.
Right. Okay.
Because I had other stuff going on, but I
Oh,
love
of
to
course.
call in when I have the opportunity.
Yeah.
All right,
And we appreciate you
Yeah,
calling.
we look forward to your calls, man.
Go ahead and listen to the rest of the show and call us back when you get some more insight from
Or is
these.
there something you want to share?
Yeah, something you want to share. Okay,
All right,
Spence.
the show.
All right, for
all right.
sure.
Like you, Spence.
All right.
We out at 5,000.
We're gonna finish with your problem. I know a hitman. No, I'm fucking. Right.
But the thing that gets me is, okay, when something negative happens, I don't take that energy and sulk in it.
Right.
What I use the energy from that negative energy, turn around and use that same energy to do something constructive, right?
Yeah.
So what I did was, my mom told me she wanted me to cook for her, but she had the taste for oxtails. So I was like, okay, that's where my energy is going to go. So that's how I love, right? Through cooking also.
Mm-hmm.
So I went home and I went to go get the oxtails. I got the bell peppers and onions and everything else together, put it in my Ninja blender, and it did not work. Now
damn, the Ninja didn't work.
The Ninja did not work.
That Ninja.
Well, I tell you.
So
it's Ninja.
So now, I didn't have the ability to take negative energy that was so impactful and turn it around into something that was going to be very impactful, which would have been having the oxtails for my mom, but she already had the rice and beans, and I figured she's going out of town on Mother's Day, so that's going to be my Mother's Day gift, and I'm wrapped up in it, and I'm all mentally prepared for it. And I wasn't able to dice up the bell peppers and the onions. I had to do it by hand, but I was like, you know what? Let's let this energy go into this.
Yeah.
So then
that's the way y'all would have did it in Belize.
Yeah.
By hand. Ain't got no Ninja in Belize.
Right. But
y'all probably would have been stepping on the bell peppers, crush it with your feet.
Like Lucy.
Yeah.
So then turned around. It just so happens today that this week is my week to work on the wedding. And Monica's week to work on marriage. So I had to work on wedding.
We're going to swing back to that because I want to know what that's all about.
Yeah, what that entails.
Just the part. Okay.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. But.
So by doing that today, things ended up being pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a couple of suits. I texted Canoom to see if he'd be able to get that. He said for sure. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm going to be sending him ideas for the tuxedos and suits.
Right.
I'm here for you,
the positive in that. Right.
Yeah.
So Canoom, how was your week thus far, and have you been since the last show?
Oh man, since the last show, what has happened? Well, we had a great event on Sunday. Right after church, we partied. So Cigar King set up, and we do events. So we had an event to do for Sunday. It was Quee's birthday party. Shout out to Quality Quee, part of the TG3 crew. So we did that party, and we just got booked for another party on Saturday. So
you guys have some awesome cigars. I think with me into the ball.
Yeah. We're becoming in high demand, and a couple people were walking in the door looking for suits for graduation, prom, and everything like that. So it's going down.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
When revenues come in, I'll get happy. But we're going to get into the show. Love connection.
Love consequences.
Love consequences. Yeah. See, I'm trying to make a love connection. That's where my mind goes.
Hey, you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
Oh, Irv.
How's your week, EP? Oh, shit. Irvin isn't here. He had some very important, beneficial meeting that he had to attend. Probably around music, I'm gonna guess. Yeah. That's what he does. So you're gonna miss EP's candor and information tonight, but we're gonna fill in for him.
Yeah, sure.
I do know that he was getting the Anomaly clothing line and stuff together too, and he also had an event for a pre-Mother's Day event that he did last Saturday that turned out pretty good as well. So, Irvin, shout out to you. Hope you're watching. If you can, call in. But we know that you're at an event that also should be able to pole vault you to another sphere. So we wish you the best, man. As we get into love consequences, or the consequences when you've fallen in love.
or thinking about it.
And then you should have seen these two gentlemen's notes tonight. They wrote a book already on this. So you all get ready. You're going to get some great information. And I'll be here for it.
We would also love for some of you that may have had some issues or some unresolved that you guys want to have a little bit of clarity or at least our perspective of. So if you can send us some messages or even call in, we prefer for you to call in, but we would love to talk to you with regards to some of the things that we'll touch basis on. So if you feel comfortable enough to call in, like, share, and subscribe, we would all appreciate it, and we hope that you enjoy this video and this show all the way until the end. Please watch to the end for some pretty uplifting information.
Let's get in it.
Let's go.
Kevin, what you got?
Speak up, man. Let's turn the energy up a little bit.
Yeah, well, shoot, I'm waiting to go ahead. You want me to read your paper? Cheat off of you. I'm used to cheating off people at school. No, go ahead.
Good topic. And, you know, love has found me and I found love. So, you know, my thing is embracing the diversity of love, you know, and exploring the different forms, you know.
You mean like different positions?
Well, that can go be in there too.
I'm just
yeah,
asking.
sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Because eventually, I mean, you want it to become positional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and you know, we can cultivate, you know, more fulfilling and meaning relationships
with love,
you know.
Well, he was writing some poetry, huh?
I think he's writing to her. He's like,
he's writing a love letter.
Baby, we need to cultivate some of this love.
I just can't
in different positions. You allow me to plant my seed.
I can't do it all the time. You know, sometimes when I need to go to the pen and the pad, I do. You know.
As long as you ain't in the pen with a pad.
No.
and the pen.
That part right there.
So yeah, man. So you want me Trev? Anybody want to jump canoe? I mean,
go ahead, Trev.
I was thinking about some of the small consequences when you're pursuing a relationship. And there's a few things there's some small things that yield large consequences. You know, and there's some things that we have a tendency to overlook, some things that we have a tendency to ignore, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. But I think the seriousness of a relationship that you want to pursue, we also need to understand what this is that we're going into. So some people want to have just a casual relationship, and some may be interested in a relationship with benefits or friendship with benefits. And then you also have people that want to pursue a serious relationship with the person. But oftentimes we make those judgments too soon. To those in the audience, please let us know what's your view on that. And please do reply to that. What do you think about that? Jumping in it too soon. That's something that a lot of people do. You can get a certification in something.
We got
a Spencer.
All right.
Is that a new caller?
Caller. Please.
All right, caller, what's your name, your question, and or comment? And on top of that, did you like and share?
This is Spencer
go
again,
ahead,
but
Spencer.
I wanted to ask you something that you just said. So you said that before you get into a relationship, I don't even remember what you said because I just, once you said it, decided to call in. But it made me think about this. Do you think, and since the topic's love consequences, do you think you should only, some people tell me it's wrong to have sex before you're married. Do you agree with that?
Well, that's what the book says.
Well, according to the Bible, yes. But I think even more so, I think more so you create a lot of difficulty with just the act of sex because it also has sometimes or oftentimes an emotional attachment, especially depending on the frequency of it with that person. Now, I think it's even more so to have unprotected sex because you increase the possibilities of you bringing in another responsibility into the world called a baby. So I think that you can be doing yourself some harm if you do.
I agree. According to the Bible, it is a sin. But to be honest with you, I think all that matters is that you have an actual connection with the person and you're not just getting laid to get laid. And like for an example, if you really care about the person, that's one thing. But I don't think it's good to, have cheap sex with a hooker or something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but some people
You
don't
pay
have
for
what
it.
we
You
call-
pay for it at some point.
yeah.
A lot of men, unfortunately, don't have what we were calling D discipline. So if you don't have D discipline, then of course to you're going to normalize the act of casual sex or just having sex. So when we're younger, we don't usually have that kind of D discipline.
Problem with casual sex is once you have sex with the person, even if there's not really an emotional connection, you'll feel a connection after having sex.
You know what, Spencer? You made a. You're right. You're right, and that kind of helps us go into our next point of view, which was, and if you want to stay on the line and comment on this, the next question would be: starting a relationship too soon. What do you think about that? When people start relationships too soon.
I'm gonna keep watching. Have a good night.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Spencer.
We can start relationships too soon.
Right. I was going to ask Ben.
What do you guys view on that? Okay, with starting relationships too soon, could you expand on your view of that?
Because I always, and I'm a firm believer of, like, when you're starting a relationship, make sure you're out of the other relationship.
I agree. No overlapping.
Yeah, no overlapping, and have a break between one relationship and another. Because I call it the clearing phase. You have time for this person's energy to get out of you. You can work on some things that ended the relationship. What made this last relationship end? You can work on self. And a lot of people don't do that. They just want to jump pillow to post. You know what I mean? And I think that's a sad thing to do. And you don't give yourself the opportunity to work on you.
What you think?
Yeah. I mean, I do believe in some situations you may need a little help getting over the person. So you may get a volunteer or a special friend. And it's not necessarily going right back into a relationship.
Okay. Yeah. So
commitment
so what do you think is the consequence of starting a relationship?
Well, 9 times you have to fill each other out. I think when you jump right into a relationship.
Oh, hell no.
You didn't read.
That was Irvin.
That was EP.
Is he behind the suits?
Oh, hell no.
You don't leave room to get to know each other really, and I'm sure we all been there. So as you get older, you tend to do things a little different than you did when you were younger.
Okay.
So and then moving in, that's another thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's a no.
Right.
So what would be the consequence? What would you say would be a consequence of two people wanting to get into a relationship, but they move in with each other and they move in early? What are some of the consequences of that in your opinion?
I think the biggest thing is wasting time. I hate wasting time. So you haven't even moved slowly and tread lightly when you're moving in with somebody. I don't think you should do that unless you're about to get married. You know what I mean? Then I think you can actually move in with somebody, because I think when you move in, especially if you're moving in with a woman, or she should, if
Right.
you're stepping into her frame, she has all the power.
Yeah. Get out.
You have none. So men, do not move in with your girlfriend. Y'all go get another place and y'all move in that.
Or keep your place. And
Or keep your place. Yes.
Spend a few nights here.
Yes.
You not go back and forth. But moving in,
it's a no-no.
One of the repercussions in my mind, in my mentality, moving too soon or starting a relationship too soon, by the time you find out what's going on or some of the things that you can't deal with, that can lead to potholes. And if you looked at one of our previous shows, Kevin said he'd rather go over a speed bump than a pothole, because at least you have the opportunity to slow down, gauge your speed, and govern yourself accordingly to get over it. Whereas a speed bump, oftentimes, if you're speeding, especially with a relationship, that pothole is already behind you, and now you've already intertwined your life with somebody else's. So that could be one of the love consequences with starting a relationship too soon. But let me ask you that, the flip side to the same coin, what do you guys think about ending a relationship too soon?
Ending a relationship too? Is there such a thing?
Yes.
Ending a relationship too soon?
I don't think
we had a show that was talking about the boomerang effect.
Well, I don't think that wasn't part of that show.
Okay, but
I didn't believe in that.
You didn't believe
Remember, I said you take out the trash and you leave it out there.
Okay.
But you don't be coming back.
Okay, but oftentimes, especially when we're younger, we have a tendency to say, forget it. And as men, it's more than one, or like we just talked about, it can be casual, or like you said, friends that volunteer. So we could be pursuing what we think that we want in terms of a relationship, realize there are a couple of speed bumps. We misinterpreted it as potholes, and then we just get rid of them because for men, it's more abundant and opportunity is there to cheat. A man is oftentimes only as loyal as his options. So when we were younger, we had more options, or at least we pursued more options, and men oftentimes, and women may do it too. Because there's another show that we had, who cheats more, men or women. So I think younger people have a tendency to cheat, but who you are in your 20s, I pray that's not who you are in your 40s. And you may have oftentimes we have let a good person go. Some of the people in the audience that are viewing, have you ever been in a relationship where, there was an interest, but the person that you wanted didn't want you, and vice versa? The person that wants you, you didn't want. That has happened often, like many a times. And we stop dealing with the person that wants us too soon. But in all actuality, they were probably good for you. So I do get taken out the trash or whatever, but sometimes just a small misunderstanding, and we walk away too easily and realize that, man, we had a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, that could be, but not in my case.
Right, right. I think I can't even remember.
When you say you have a diamond in the rough, you're going to recognize that. You will get many signs that this woman is the one, and there's no one. So I just think that, the consequences of leaving too soon is you get to start anew. And that's not a bad consequence.
But the new isn't always necessarily better either.
It's not.
You have a bird in the hand.
But so, you have options, whether do you just stay but you can leave again and start another new. So I mean, especially back when we were younger, we know we had quite a few,
that you gave up. You haven't had women that you were involved in at a younger stage in your life, and then look back and like, wow, she really blossomed, or man, that was a good one that
I've seen a lot of them where I said, "Whoo, I dodged the bullet on that one." Yeah. My goodness, because she didn't spread a little wide a little bit. And okay,
we all.
She done had 5 children, and all of them by different men. You know what I mean? And
men do that too.
She weighed 320 pounds.
Somebody call in, please.
But somebody call in.
You dodged the bullet.
And address this.
You dodged the bullet.
Somebody, how many women out there dodged the bullet? Call in, Texas.
Well, I know I dodged a couple bullets. Not saying a whole lot, but I dodged some bullets.
Well, in some situations, I could have been the one that they glad they dodged. I don't know.
Well, shit, if you think that lowly of yourself, you're on the wrong show.
No, but I'm not going to say that I. Never mind. I'm not down.
You're
here.
not going to say you dodged the
I'm not
bullet.
going to say I'm down here. But
oh my God, you're not going to say you dodged the bullet.
In somebody's eyes, I really was like, they might look at me like,
Trevor, be
you wasn't the ideal man.
Trevor,
you wasn't the one.
Let's speak the truth, Trevor. You know, you see some old dirty work, and you were like, "Oh my goodness, I dodged the bullet on that one."
What? Come on, Trevor.
Can we be real here? Let's be real on that show.
We know 99% of the time you siding with the women. It's okay, Trevor.
No, I'm just fair. I think oftentimes we let relationships go too soon. I think all of us, men and women, do.
I think mine.
We let relationships
I
go
think
too
all
soon.
of mine ended when they were supposed to end.
Okay, we gonna make it. Let you circle back to some of your relationships.
Well, the consequence of, in my opinion,
like your co-parent. How about that one? You won't do that one.
I didn't dodge it, but
he almost had a heart attack. He almost got a heart attack.
He almost had an amputation.
Yeah. So come on now.
I think the consequence of ending a relationship too soon, if anyone out there in the sphere would be that you have a resentment or regrets of something that you could have had or position that you could have been in. So that would be the consequence of that. If that ever happened to anybody.
I don't recall.
I haven't seen that. You guys out there, but if it has, let me know. Well, call in or leave us a message and let us know if that has ever happened to you. Someone that love lost.
Okay.
Well, I think women live in fantasy worlds anyway. That's why they're they buy more those love romances books. Right. They live in that. That's how a woman lives in her reality is these fantasies. They want the fantasy wedding, the white picket fence, and everything like that. Yeah. They want all of these things. Most men, I never white picket fence.
Yeah, I never read a love novel before.
No, I've never read one either,
unless it's my own and I'm reading it to someone.
Yeah. I mean, it says it's poetry over there and
I'm not done. I got a little bit more for.
Yeah, so I don't think that we are in two different realities. What women want and what men want when it comes to life and love, it's almost two different things. Like, who is going to say that my way is wrong? Probably you, but it's my way. And if you can't deal with it, you can't deal with it. That's the consequences of loving me.
Okay. Well, also though, if it yields the results that person wants, then it does work for you. Who are we to say? Because this is something. If you see that it is working for you and you are at peace with it and you're enjoying it, it does work for you. For me, however, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, you know what? If that works for you, they have every right. You're right. It works for you, but not with me.
Now, we know in America, it's not working. The probability of love, we're going to just take marriage. That's love. I'm not saying I'm not against marriage or anything like that. So you two don't gang up on me. Don't beat up on me.
Not never. You at the beginning of the show. You know where I was with all that. I'm like,
if 50% of marriages fail, this is just overall. And you know that saying, like, if white folks got a cold, black people got the flu. So you can imagine that statistic is slightly higher in the black community. They say 1 in 4 black women will never get married.
Yeah,
I'll piggyback off what he said.
Never. And Monica, I'm not getting rid of the microphone. Monica says, "Someone please take the
Monica.
But these are just statistics.
Yeah, well, you can't argue with that.
You can't. It's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, going into love and the consequences of it, I think we have to have a high level of discernment. My discernment have to be on point. That's the only thing I'm saying. Y'all can love as much as y'all want to.
Janelle Alexander says the relationship isn't about you when you're in a relationship.
Yeah, it is about you.
Well, some people hijack it. Relationships.
I think because women are naturally nurturing, they're going to give more. Women are going to give more in that relationship.
When she said a relationship is about you, I doubt it, because unselfishness is what you need for the growth of a relationship. So love is giving, and love gives. Love's an action word. Love does. So if I'm loving, that's unselfish. If it's all about me in a relationship, then what about the other person? That person is required to make sure that you're happy. That person is required to make sure that you're okay. And if that's the case, it's taking from one person and giving to only you. I think that when there is love, there's reciprocity. Reciprocity is required, isn't it?
Well, she said
it
isn't just about you. But let's not
I apologize.
Be naive. You do have a lot of women that make the relationship about them. They at the center. And they want to be catered to at all times. So there are those type of women that's out there.
Okay, that leads to another. You want to say something about that?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I was just thinking about how many men are languishing in prison behind a woman that he said he loved.
Come on, bro.
Come on, now we got to think like some of the greatest men of the world were destroyed. By that feminine punani, searching it, chasing it, and he loses his purpose and himself.
Yeah,
right.
There's the consequences of falling in love with a Jezebel,
right. And not just in prison. Go, if we had the power to go to the cemetery and ask everyone that's out there behind a woman, rise.
Fights and wars have been started over women.
Definitely.
So now Kevin was mentioning something earlier, right? About, paying for and taking care of or whatever else. How important does the audience and how important do you guys believe financial intelligence plays a role on a relationship?
I think it's highly important because they say a lot of divorces come from lack of finances. I was telling somebody today, that it says in the good book, money answers all things. That means maybe you could stay in love a little longer if your bread is a little longer. Right. I mean, it may be just that, right? Because she's going to stay with you because she feels you have more resources. And a woman should, I'm not saying she shouldn't, she should look at a man for his resources, because this is the man. I mean, I'm talking about when you first in an initial relationship. This is the man you're going to have children by. So you want your child to have children to have certain resources. And I think it's very important. That could be finance. That could be knowledge. It says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. If you want to be a good man.
Do you think inheritance is just money?
No,
I'll put a bookmark there. I'll put a bookmark there.
Not at all.
It's not just money.
No, okay.
Like I said, that's why knowledge, wisdom passed on to younger seeds is very important.
Okay.
I think we put the emphasis on money. So it makes it, if it's not, I would say if it's not one, is 1B.
Okay. So what would you say is the consequence of not having financial intelligence? Or
it's going to bring division in your relationship.
Okay.
It can, it can also, they start looking elsewhere because you're not
with a man with more resources.
Right.
Hypergamy is very real. And I don't want that to be like look at it as a negative thing. Hypergamy is that woman wants to mate, wants to pair bond with the highest value male that she can attain. There's nothing wrong with that.
What's not an impactful?
I saw this.
Hold on, Trev. What's not an impactful statement? Who put that up to Ebony?
Yeah, Ebony. I don't. She's not going to call in. I think it's cowardice to type things, and you're just not going to call in. Just call in, so we can really know what you mean.
Yeah, we don't
express yourself. Sister.
I'm not a mind reader. I know most of you women think that men are, but we aren't.
Yeah, I would say call in, because then you can really speak what you want to.
Don't be scared.
Get it off your heart, baby.
Yeah,
get it off your heart. Don't let your heart be weighed down with these things.
Now, going back to my notes,
your poetry. Go ahead.
Love is a kaleidoscope of consequences.
Go ahead.
Both beautiful and challenging. It can bring joy, it can bring fulfillment and growth, but also vulnerability. And I know Belinda put that up. Heartache and sacrifice.
But now she didn't write that for you, did she?
No.
Okay.
She didn't write it for me.
All right.
I know how to write a little bit.
Just want to know.
No.
Okay.
But she did, say about giving of yourself,
Yeah.
Yeah. But we, see how we intertwine.
Yeah. No, it's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think it's a great thing.
I wrote it, and she also typed it too.
She spell checked it.
Yeah. No, not on mine.
She spell checked it.
So okay. So now, when in a relationship or dealing with someone, what would you say is, I ain't gonna even say the difference, but dealing with.
Oh, we have a caller. Caller, please tell us your name, question, or comment.
Ebony.
Hi, gentlemen. It's not Ebony. This is Belinda.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Belinda. Her up, though.
I'm just laughing because I'm glad you asked that question, Canoe, because I was going to ask Kevin myself, who did he confer with to come up with his little poetry there. But
wow, really? So okay.
Because he's never said those things to me.
Oh, wow. Well, put him on blast. Throw him up under the bus, Belinda. My goodness.
In Kevin's
go ahead, Trev.
In Kevin's defense, this is the way I'm seeing. If Kevin is growing, that's almost one of the best things that you want, regardless of where he get the information from. But information plus application leads to a successful relationship for you guys. So if he's getting the information and he applies it, let's thank God. Now, instead of growing apart, y'all gonna grow together.
It comes from the dome, man.
Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, I can say he printed it. He didn't even write in cursive.
I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking. But I didn't know that my comment popped on the screen. Maybe I missed it, but that is one of the things that I wanted to comment on, is about the vulnerability of when you love and you really open yourself up. Whether it's pain, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, but that opening yourself up, for situations where the trust is gone, or somebody dishonors you, the loyalty is out the door. Those are the kind of things that I see as the consequences of love.
Okay.
But on the flip side, it can be a beautiful thing when it's the right person, and you guys are on the right page, and you both are trying to reach the same goals, and there's not somebody playing games with you, and you're seeing things one way, and they're doing something a totally different way.
Babe, I told you.
Did you just say, babe?
You didn't have to thank me. I told you, baby. I'm here. I'm here for you.
Okay, this is not the Love Connection show.
No, it's already been connected.
This is all this fairy flowers and daffodils and running through.
But see, and that's a part of it too. Is you want someone where you can enjoy each other's company. Y'all can have fun. You can be silly with. You can, serious. Y'all can go. You can hit pretty much every mark, and that's something that's, when I feel when a woman is very vulnerable is when they through their laughter. That's when a woman really laugh, not one of them makeup laugh, not one that she rehearsed for years, like one of them, one of those. When she opened her mouth and her head go back and she's really laughing, I think that's wrong. And to me, that's sexy.
I agree. Thank you, Belinda.
Thank you.
Calling in.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in. Thank you. We appreciate you.
So, as I was saying, what's your guys' view on a cheap person versus a frivolous person?
Frivolous? Cheap?
Being in a relationship with someone that is just cheap in terms of how they, spend or whatever else, versus a person that's frivolous. Their money got to count. They're more efficient with their money.
Frugal.
So frugal.
Yeah, when you were saying frivolous, I was like,
sorry, I really apologize. Frugal, someone frugal.
Shit, what kind of frivolous?
Sorry about that.
Excuse me.
Sorry about that.
Excuse me. We got to do some more recording after the show.
That's a blooper. Damn. So yeah, the someone that is just a cheap person that you're dealing with versus someone that is more frugal. So how important is that in a relationship, and what would be the consequence?
But let me ask you, when you say cheap, what are you referring to?
Okay. They're
like your, what do you call it? $1 date or $10 date? Or
dub date.
Dub date. That's cheap.
I don't think that
would be considered cheap.
No.
Well, that's frugal or cheap.
It got to go up because now everything is high.
You gonna spend more gas to get to the park, wherever you going. You gonna spend a gallon at least, unless you taking the bus. Or
the reason why I asked Trev is because I don't consider like maybe bargain shopping cheap. You know what I mean?
So that would be frugal.
In certain things, in certain areas, I would wouldn't consider. Oh, well, that's cheap or what have you.
I would say cheap is someone that always puts the value of something based upon the cost, and the lower the cost, the more likely they are to do that thing.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, because ain't nothing cheap in here. In Swank, you're going to spend your money.
Yeah, you got trust.
She probably wouldn't come in here, but you said something in one of the shows that success leaves clues, right?
Yes.
But then again, so does a cheap mindset, a cheap mentality, because instead of getting a good thing once, they'll continue to buy cheap things and not put money into you're not that's going to be worth it.
I get that. Right. Yeah.
So
because when you buy cheap stuff, it won't last you as long.
You get what you pay for.
Like if you bought a finer garment or something that could withstand the test of time,
right?
It would last you much longer.
Right. I gave a definition, but also an example. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go and get your oil changed in X, Y, and Z, and go ahead and get your tires changed. But instead, you're looking for the cheapest place, or you're looking for a shade tree mechanic, or you're just going to repair one, or things like that. So I think that's also important with the person that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So would you rather deal with someone that is more frugal, or someone that is just and cheap? Probably.
Yeah, of course, a person that's more frugal. Yeah. I think we live in a time where money shows up in love, right? Because now both people, they have to have a luxury car in the driveway. Like when my grandmother and my grandfather, they only had one luxury car in the driveway. That
everybody got it.
Everybody don't need a $800 car note, because now what you can't stay home now because now I gotta pay for your new Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Now you want to stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. That's ridiculous. Like,
few people said that.
You don't need a Rolls Royce to sit in the driveway just to keep up with the Joneses. But I think for me, Belinda hit it on the head. Love is scary.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you that for a matter, because you know how you act when you're in love. You will become like a whole nother person in love.
That dopamine.
Yeah. So I think it's a scary thing, and it does take your willingness to be vulnerable You have to open up your chest and reveal your heart, and that's a scary thing.
So, what would be the consequences of someone that has financial intelligence and someone that doesn't have financial intelligence? What would be that love consequence? Let's start off with you. If they have good financial intelligence, and what if they don't? What are the consequences of each?
Well, I mean, that's kind of hard to say, because when you're like I'm saying, because we're in business, right? Business is always a risk. Do you, just because you not are not in the place you want to be today, does that make you a not savvy with your finances? You know what I mean? I don't think so, because it's a lot of great businesses that start from a minuscule place and grow and become great. But if you leave it when it's at this level, I don't know, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Maybe I'm just thinking at it from a business perspective versus a relationship. Now, if I gave my wife money to invest in something and she spent it on something else, that would give me pause to, I would possibly almost end that relationship.
That what goes on with a lot of relationships. Men have or they meet some woman that they're enamored by, and they turn around and spend their money on trying to make her happy with hair, nails, makeup, massages, manicure, pedicure, and out to fine dinners. But in all actuality, she doesn't really care about his finances. She doesn't really care. All she's concerned about is, this is what I want, not what we need. So I think that would be that consequence. You can drive you to the poorhouse trying to keep up with her.
Yeah. Trying to give her all the gifts and things that she needs.
Yeah, what you think? What do you think is the consequence of someone not having financial intelligence?
I'm kind of, you may not start off with that, but that would be something that you work towards. A goal that should be both of you all. Just like Canoon, when he said love, he made the statement that love is scary. And it can be, because you can go to bed with someone at night, lay down for the night, and they wake up feeling another type of way, or pretty much someone else. So the same way that they go to bed don't mean that's how they gonna wake up.
That could be a consequence of getting into that relationship too soon.
Yeah. Well, but then maybe staying too long.
You got to sleep with one eye open. You need to get out of that.
But what I'm saying is, you not knowing, because see, that's the thing. I'm in control of my feelings for you. I'm not in control for your feelings for me. So it may be tomorrow, you may feel totally different. Whatever happened, whatever took place. And, so there's, consequences.
That's you quite right. That's hence one of the shows that we had, and we don't know if you guys have seen it, but I encourage that you go back and take a look at Passport Brothers. That's one of the reasons why there are some Passport Brothers, because of how the financial intelligence is not being respected. We had one gentleman that said he didn't leave our women, he left the system. So he went somewhere where his finances would be respected also. So if you guys hadn't seen that show, we also encourage that you go back and take a look at that show.
Yeah, because
tell us what you think. Leave a comment. I'm sure we're going to read all of them. So if not, reply. Go ahead.
If my finances is the main thing, then I don't even want to be with no one like that. You're not looking. It's nothing else that makes you happy but that paycheck, or you're able to go shopping and, like Canoon said, get that car. That car gonna come with a high insurance policy as well. So I'm shoveling out way more than have to be. If a person that can't look at it as, well, babe, I don't need that particular model, but you want You want something nice, and we get that because men will want their woman driving something that they can depend on every time you get in that car. When you know and get out that car,
of course,
it's gonna perform and do what it's supposed to do.
Amen.
It doesn't always have. I never had a Rolls Royce, but I'm sure it's been a Rolls Royce has been a lemon. Somebody have gotten a Rolls Royce and then turned them off because of the car didn't respond or whatever was going on.
Well, I could truly say I never seen a sticker on the highway where the Rolls Royce.
No, you ain't seen it, but I mean,
stalled.
Yeah,
because they will come pick up their car. They don't.
Usually,
they're not playing with
Royce, you have a driver.
Yeah,
that in the Bentley.
Yeah.
So
I can see. I want to be.
I got two other topics. You guys let me know which one you want to address. One, having a child too soon. The what do you call it? The consequences of that, choosing to have a child. Secondly, mental health and the consequences of mental health. Which one do you guys want to?
All these baddie broads out here, you talk about mental health.
I guess we're going with
some of the comments.
Okay,
we're gonna read too.
These women go crazy. What if money isn't her attraction?
That's great because she's not focusing just on money.
Yeah, it shouldn't be her end all be all.
Whether I have a few million in the account or not, that shouldn't be, her main thing is my finance. What was a few more of them, Keith? We just want to try to read a few. Yeah.
Talk your shit, Kevin. How about that one?
Who was that?
Talk your shit, Kevin.
Who was that? Why is spending time with someone that you like have a cost? The prize is the person we can create together. I like that. We should be able to create together. And I think it'll be more of women as far as the cost on us than us putting the cost on a woman. They can either balance each other. What's going to create in the relationship, the person.
Are you gonna read it so we can hear it
he was
too?
talking. That's why I was just reading quiet. I thought I was, but I had the mic.
He's whispering. He's whispering the comments. Whispering. They can either balance each other or it's going to create strife in the relationship. The person with good financial habits, intelligence, can teach and guide the not so financially savvy person. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Great comment, yes. Belinda. Yes. Great comment.
Yeah.
But I think, with back to the mental health thing, I think that's so important. You know what attracted me to this one young lady? She told me she had sought therapy after her long-term relationship. And I was like, that is such a great thing. It instantly attracted me to her. And she said she took her son because he was involved in it. So we and the therapist taught her to get through some of the things that she needed to get through. So she presented herself now as a more healthier and whole individual. And that is by far the best thing you could do.
Is go.
What are some of the consequences of a person that doesn't necessarily realize that they do need help? What's some of the consequences of that?
Augusta Hawkins.
Yeah,
because you can't tell a person, you know what, you need to go get. You can't say you need to go get therapy. That's one thing you cannot do. So, what would be a consequence of dealing with someone that you can't even tell that that you're dealing with?
I just leave.
I'm gonna drop her off at Augusta Hawkins.
I just leave
over there by Martin Luther King. There's a mental hospital over there. I'm gonna pull up and be like, "Hey, babe, they serving mimosas up in there."
Yeah,
got to get her up in there.
Yeah, because that young lady that you were talking about, Canoe. That's great because we as Black people feel that's something that we don't do.
That's taboo.
Yeah. So by her taking, knowing that's something she needed to do. Man, my hat's off to her. And a lot more of us
need to do that.
But oftentimes in subtle ways, we also are dealing with someone that shows signs of needing some kind of mental balance or healing, because
bipolar.
you have people that are overly controlling.
Yeah.
Yes, and we had a show with Controlling Connections. Go back and watch that. Then you also have some people that are easily angered.
Yep.
And you also have people that are in a relationship to where the person that they're dealing with is very critical of them.
And sometimes you get all of that in one person.
You do. And sometimes because we're enamored by the looks or the appearance or the physical aspects of this person, we continue to pursue it and we try to overlook it. Ooh. And that in and of itself can make you mentally unhealthy.
Exactly.
Dealing with someone that is absolutely mentally unhealthy for you can also cause you to become to a certain capacity mentally unhealthy.
See, that's when you take that out and you leave it out there.
Yeah.
Don't try to rework it, heat it up,
leave it alone,
put it in the microwave and warm it up. Some stuff don't taste good. Reheat it.
Yeah. I was standing on the highest curve I could find, about to jump. The highest curve.
Man, I remember on one of our first shows, one of my statements was, "I'm way too good at goodbye."
Oh, I'm definitely
way too good at goodbye.
Yeah, like your cutoff game is really real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not so much anymore. But let's go to the real spit of the show.
Is it real spit?
It's that time.
Oh,
you want to do the real? No, maybe y'all can do a duo real spit. How about that?
Went by fast. Trevor, let me read this and then
this part of the real spit.
Its consequences ripples through every aspect of life. I bring some light behind
His
it.
tears are welling up. He can't see the paper anymore.
What did I write? Oh, shaping our emotions, decisions, and relationships from profound connection to painful separation. Love impact is as can't see that. I'm sorry, my apologies.
Get him some glasses, Trevor. Hand him your glasses so he can see.
I couldn't see.
So he can see.
But y'all know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, damn it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, fine.
Trevor, pick it up. Okay.
In a relationship, no matter what type of relationship you're involved in, all of us, including the other person, everyone is like a tea bag. You don't know how strong they are until they're in hot water. You don't have to put it in the microwave though. You can't test the person voluntarily, because life in and of itself will test the relationship, but also go through that, because being through that temperance, that can also be what it takes. That fire can be what it takes to bring you together, but it could also burn this relationship. But like I said, in every relationship, we all are like tea bags. You don't know how strong we are until we in hot water. Secondly, and I think this is also a pretty good point. Would you date yourself? And if you wouldn't date yourself, and you know yourself better than anybody else, because no matter where you go, you got to take you with you. Would you date someone that has the same character flaws, someone that has the same drive or laziness as you, a person that has accomplished or thought they were going to accomplish something like you did? We were calling that for a while batas. About to go to school, about to get a car, about to buy a house. Me personally, I'd rather be a done did. I done did this. I done got that. I done went and did this. So understand where you are. Give yourself a realistic perspective. Kevin said love is a kaleidoscope. Are you on the other end of it looking in, or do you know who you are and how you are? Lastly, we were talking about finances and financial intelligence, and one young lady had posted something with regards to money, and I may have misinterpreted it, and I want to apologize to her again. However, let's all keep in mind, money is a terrible master, so don't worship it. Money is a terrible master, but he is a loyal slave. What end of that do you want to be on? We appreciate all your phone calls. We appreciate those of you that sent us messages. This was definitely an intriguing show. We missed Irvin. Unfortunately, he's not here. But from all the fellas here at Spitt'n Pollaseedz, we wish you well. We'll see you next week. Like and share so that somebody else can hear. Please subscribe to the show as well. We'll talk to you until next week. Have a great Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
That's the consequences of falling in love with Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
That was hey,
you want to come back next week?
Hey, you might learn something.
Yeah. We ain't mad at you.